Being an army brat, sir, most of my life, sir, I have been born and brought up by the Fauji. OLQs are basically, sir, the leadership or the teamwork that we're talking about. If I'm helping one of my peers in my class or one of my friends in, in my daily life and daily routine, I'm trying to help, trying to make a difference. I think that is where one's or my or anybody's OLQs will come out, sir, automatically. I have realized and we have to have a lot of acceptance in life.
True.
Okay, a lot of times I could be the best, and yet things may not go my way. So when I used to feel very low, sir, I used to think about all of my achievements that I have got since a very young age. For TAT, the one simple trick I used to use was one has to imagine him or herself in the picture. Nobody else is going to do it for you. You are going to have to do it for you. So take care of yourself, take care of your body, eat good, be happy.
Jai Hind, Vande Mataram, and Bharat Mata ki Jai. Swagat hai aapko on the Fauji show. Today we have with us very special guest, Parinati. Parinati, thank you so much for coming on our platform. It's an honor and a privilege to host you because काफी कम female aspirants मेरे channel पे आती हैं. So it's always a pleasure talking, and there are many aspirants who are watching the channel. So I think it would be a great experience to learn from you and your journey. For those who don't know, she has been recommended twice for SSC Tech Entry, and now as we are recording this video, आज रात की इसकी train and she will leave for OTA Chennai. So it is that last moment. So thank you so much for taking out time. I know this time is very precious, Parinati. So she's an army brat. Father साहब इनके आर्मी में है, एंड प्रॉब्ली वहाँ से ही इनको मोटिवेशन मिली होगी. इनकी जर्नी के बारे में जानेंगे कि कैसे शी वाज वर्किंग फॉर हर ड्रीम्स, एंड शी इज़ एन इंजीनियर बाय हर डिग्री. सो थैंक यू सो मच. एंड परिणति, थोड़ा बताओ यार अपने बारे में कि व्हाट एल्स डज परिणति डू, एंड कहाँ से मिली आपको मोटिवेशन फौज के लिए.
Jain, sir. So, first of
जय
all,
हिंद.
I would like to thank you, sir, for giving me the opportunity of coming into this prestigious platform, sir. And it would allow me to inspire several others who are, on the journey, as which I was a little time back. So as you mentioned, being an army brat, sir, most of my life, sir, I have been born and brought up by the Fauji. So it has always revolved around something or the other. And seeing my dad in the uniform from a very young age, so I think that is where the spark ignited. And from there on, I knew I had to achieve something which would, make a difference. So mostly, so my schooling, if I talk about my schooling, then I have mostly studied in Catholic schools because my dad was posted in the northern areas initially. But from sixth onwards, we have been in Lucknow. So I've studied in Army Public School, Nehru Road, Lucknow. And when I was initially during my 11th and 12th, I was preparing for ID JEE. But due to COVID and several other reasons, I could not make through. And I think that was where I knew that, they often say that once you get some kind of a failure in life, you tend to go with even a higher spirit. So that was my motivation after that, that I knew I had to do it. So I did my BTech from VIT Bhopal. It was the COVID time when I got inducted into college. So after that, during my college days, I had been preparing for written. But from my final year, I would have started giving written from 2024 onwards. But then in 2022, I got to know about the tech entry, the direct entries itself. So I decided to prepare for that for the SSBs. And once I got shortlisted, I got recommended from 22 SSB Bhopal and then again from 31 Jalandhar. So yes, so that was it. That was all.
Were you ever part of NCC in school or in college?
No, sir, I had never joined HCC during school days. I was mostly into academics.
Okay.
So that had been my forte. But other than that, I had been very actively involved in different kinds of sports and
Okay.
equitation as well.
All right. So you're a rider.
Yes, sir.
Okay, great. So that's a good opportunity to get colors in academy, because I remember my course mates जो riding के थे, they used to always be on OD visit. And
Okay,
while
sir.
you are training, while you're doing drill or PT, it's kind of hard to watch them go and do some riding and then go to canteen and have a good sleep. But anyways,
Yes, sir.
so it's a good opportunity for you as well. moving on, थोड़ा इसके बारे में बात करते हैं regarding this thing which I think थोड़ा सा over exaggerated, OLQs, how to imbibe them. Yeah, what is your take on this? कि how one should go about preparing their personality in terms of qualities before they go for their SSB?
So I feel the entire 5 day procedure of SSB, it is all about how one is actually in their real life. And first and foremost thing for me, and I think for most of the people, it should be about being a good person in life. OLQs are basically, sir, the leadership or the teamwork that we're talking about. If I'm helping one of my peers in my class or one of my friends in, in my daily life and daily routine, I'm trying to help, trying to make a difference. I think that is where one's or my or anybody's OLQs will come out, sir, automatically. So the way we are in our real lives, it's essential that we start adopting them into our day-to-day activities. And I think that is from where the true character of a person will come out in their SSBs as well. So not only, one will make through in their SSBs or competitive exams as such, but their real life as well. So that's what I feel, sir.
Okay, great. And how did you start preparing for SSB once the call letter had come?
So initially, sir, I was preparing myself only. My dad used to guide me, and I used to take help of all the online platforms that were available, YouTube and different.
Okay,
There are a lot, everything is available over the net nowadays. So initially, I was preparing through that, and I had joined a Centurion for written, sir, for written
okay, great,
CTS.
great.
Yes, sir. So they have this thing that they provide for all the written students. They give out a 21-day SSB course in that included in that itself. So, sir, I sat for that, and
एक second.
most
For those who don't know Centurion के बारे में, the link and details are in description. Just check it out after the video. Please continue. Sorry to interrupt.
yes, sir. So, sir, I had joined Centurion, sir. I was going there for return anyways. So when
Okay,
my call-up letter came, sir, I sat there for SSB as well, and I think that really helped me because they have this VTO ground in which we go and practice. Like thrice we went in those 3 weeks. So that really helped me, and other classes of everything overall, sir. It was a overall preparative growth, and I did it myself, also taking guidance from my father. So altogether, it was a preparation journey, sir.
great.
Yes.
Anything you would like to suggest in particular one should do after coming back from coaching? Like you hear ki you guys join groups or have WhatsApp or Telegram groups and you practice narrations and GDs. Is it like any, what is your take on this?
Sir, I feel so. This I had practiced throughout school, college, and coaching. Also, I would include. Sir, every day, whatever is being taught, it is very essential that one comes and revises because we have initially when we are taught something, we have very little retaining capacity during class. So, but once you come and revise, once you're thorough with it, you're gonna anybody's gonna remember it for a very long time. So that's what I used to do. I used to come back, whatever had been taught, I used to practice it. The classes used to be little up till 8. So, anyways, I used to be very tired, but taking out 1 hour, half an hour for that revision is good enough and it is really fruitful. And on the weekends, so one can start practicing as and what has been taught. Other than that, so, the PPTT pictures or the tag pictures, everything, a lot of them are available online as well. And plus, we got a book from Centurion named Raniti that had a lot of sample pictures. So, after coming back, sir, I used to practice them and read around a lot. And yes, about WhatsApp group, the other students in my coaching, so we had created a WhatsApp group. So in that, every day at night, they used to send out one picture, and everybody used to write a story around that, and we
Oh,
used to share our stories into the group. So that way, we got our perspective and others as well. That used to
okay,
help.
great. So let's talk about your first SSB. जिसमें आप you were I think AR-14
Yes, sir.
and then second you were AIR-3.
Yes, sir.
So tell us about that. How was that feeling once you got recommended the first time, and how was that those 5 days like?
So in my first attempt in 10 to SSB Bhopal, sir, I was a fresher. So, as everybody's, I was also a little nervous, and I didn't. Although I had practiced a lot, I prepared thoroughly in the coaching at home, everything. Still, there was this, new feeling. So, we had a PPTT as day one went. So, I was very thrilled after getting screened in. So, my dad always used to tell me, "Okay, no, you'll get through in this one only." He's my biggest supporter, so I used to be like,
Nice.
"Okay." So
Great.
after I got screened in, so that's what the only thing I kept telling myself was to calm down and give out my best. Everything I knew, I had to just give that out. I didn't have to try to be extra, just showcase whatever I have put in over all these years. So that is how I went about it, sir. Being honest with every task, being sincere with every task I was put to, and trying to give out my best, not being too over the edge, but just being how I really am. And so lastly, when I got recommended on the day of the results, seven of us got recommended, out of which two or three were freshers, if I remember correctly. So it was a great feeling. I was seriously on top of the world, and my parents, I would be say, my dad was the happiest. So yeah, it was a great feeling. So and once we got the merit, so that was also very nice.
Okay. So what happened in the first attempt? Was it like why were you not able to join the academy?
So for graduate entries, sir, I was for the direct entry of tech. So
Okay.
in that, I was required to submit my provisional degree or the final degree certificate. Now, I was an
Okay.
appearing candidate, so I was required to
Okay.
submit my provisional degree since I did not have my final degree. But I was currently in my seventh semester that time, and getting the provisional degree since one semester exams had not been done, it was not possible. So even though I got a call from DGR, so I was not able to um, submit it on time. That may have been the reason. Although so the seats were six, and I was all India ranked 14. So even though I'm counting, maybe somehow would have been medical out or something. Yet, so it could be both the reasons, more or less.
Okay.
So
Fair
that
enough.
well.
Then how was this like coming back? Yeah, like you must have felt very bad naturally because celebrations तब तक हो जाती है फौजी बच्चों की and mind में वो सपने होते हैं कि यार ये करना है वो करना है. So like if someone faces something like this, then what do you suggest? How should one come back from it?
Sir, to be very honest, I was very devastated when I
Yeah.
got to know
And,
the first few weeks, I think 1 or 2 weeks. I was very down. But then, sir, one thing I've realized through my entire journey is that everything happens when it is the time for it to happen.
yeah.
So you once and not for all, I could sit and regret, oh, like I could have gone 6 months back and all that. But there's no point. So I have realized then, and we have to have a lot of acceptance in life.
True.
Okay, a lot of times I could be the best, and yet things may not go my way. And that is what life is all about. So that is the thing which kept me going. That all right, I need to go through, push through, come back stronger. Okay, I was this rank. I need to, sir. I had actually posted up a lot of motivational quotes around my table.
Okay.
Everybody has a low days in life. Likewise, I also did. So one,
Do you have a
uh,
picture?
sir, of my room.
No, no, of those posters. We will share it on the screen afterwards.
Yes, sir. So it is my table only, sir. Here,
Great,
whenever I'm
great,
sitting, sir,
great.
it's there only. So, sir, this one small trick I used to have, which I would like to share with everybody. So, when I used to feel very low, sir, I used to think about all of my achievements that I have got since a very young age. Now, when I say achievements, are not medals and trophies. Those are achievements, yes. But what I meant was any good that one has done in their life, helped a friend, helped, made a difference in somebody's life. So I used to remember all that, and that used to really remind myself that yes, I'm capable, yes, I'm a good person, yes, I can do this. And that is very important to keep one spark alive. So that is what I would suggest people also do, and come back even stronger.
That's great. Um, Moving forward थोड़ा इसके बारे में आते हैं regarding the interview जो personal interview है. Can you compare both the interviews and tell us कि what all happened in both the interviews and which one was the more difficult one for you, and if any questions made you uncomfortable, or like how was the experience like?
Yes, sir. So the first time in Bhopal, so that time I was a fresher. So that time, so the interview revolved mainly around my PIQ, and sir, it was a very smooth interview. I was not hung up anywhere, sir. I was not cross-questioned on a lot of things. On a few things, yes. If I got stuck somewhere, then I was cross-questioned. We circled around for a minute or so, but it was not something very difficult I would put in. That time it was my first interview, so I had no comparative level also. But when I gave the second one, so that time I was a repeater, and so both my interviews lasted very long. The first one
Okay.
was also 1.5 hours. This one was also 1 hour, 10 minutes, something like that. So, sir, but in my second one, it was also around my PIQ only. But I was asked general knowledge questions as well, technical questions as well around my branch since I'm from AI and ML. And other than that, sir, even from PIQ, so it was. I think there was one question which really intrigued me was the meaning of my name. So we talked about it for at least 20 minutes.
Okay. What is the meaning, actually?
So Parinati means a beginning, start
Okay.
of something. So,
Okay.
so his question was start of what? Now I had never pondered upon start of what. I did myself did not give it a thought. So we were circling around back and forth around the same. Yeah, so that was really, and it honestly speaking, it was a very intellectual interview, I would say, very awakening one for me as well. So after coming back from the interview, I thought a lot about myself after that day also. That was one, sir. And other thing in my second interview was a lot of, as I mentioned, technical questions were asked. And although there were few I was able to answer, some were a little difficult, which I was not able to answer also.
Okay.
And sir, one more very key takeaway was the place from, like I belong from Lucknow. We talked a lot about Lucknow. Lucknow, what are the
Okay.
places, the different places, since I had been here for pretty long time, almost 10, 12 years. So around that we circled. And one important thing which I was, baffled a lot on was my weaknesses. And every word that I used, suppose if I use the word emotional, then everything had a big question mark. Okay, like so वो स्पाइरल होता जा रहा था उसी में ही कि okay, I'm saying one negative word and then we are around it again, when we are around it. So that was a little tricky, sir, but I was successfully able to come out of it. So it's very essential. That's why I mentioned that one keeps their calm during the interview as well. So,
Great.
yes, sir, choosing words when speaking is really something that has to be kept in mind.
Wonderful.
So,
Any questions related to the armed forces since you're from army background?
no, sir, in both the interviews, I was not asked anything about the armed forces. Uh, like maybe the interviewing officer must have been aware that I actually did prepare very well because I was expecting that I would be asked on the same. So maybe that could have been the reason. But a little about my dad's postings, his regiment, where it is center, but very basic questions. So I would suggest that that should be prepared very thoroughly if one is an army brat.
Let's say if one is an engineer graduate just like yourself and is going for an SSB, so what all are the technical questions which can be asked, or is there a like a specific kind, or it can be anything and everything?
So to be very honest, it can be anything.
Okay.
Anything can be asked. It is a
Okay.
very open-ended. The interview itself is so open-ended.
Yeah.
So when it comes to tech, also it is like that. But one thing is there that if the interviewing officer is a technical officer, so, then he can dig dive into it like anything. But if they are not, if he is not a technical officer, then so mostly I would say it would be very basic questions. Like I was this time, I was asked very basic questions also,
Like,
like
can you share?
conversion. Yes, sir. Like one of
Yeah.
the questions was conversion of bit to byte. Okay,
Okay.
how many bits does bits does one byte contain? Something
Okay.
like that. Basic specifications about my computer, the one which I'm owning. Like sir, I've worked also. I've worked in as intern as a full timer as well.
Okay.
So
Great.
what? Yes, sir, we talked at least I think 10-15 minutes about the first internship that I ever did. I went to
Okay.
Bangalore to do that. So that was very interesting, and I
Where?
love to
Which
share about
company?
the Newton School.
Okay, great. So it sounds interesting. Please share.
Yes, sir.
Share.
Sir, I was there as a growth intern, sir. So, sir, growth
Okay.
intern is basically, sir, an intern who will work around all the different departments, work for
Okay.
their growth. So, I used to work in operations, be it social media. I used to make a lot of reels also there. I was taken up in one of their ads as well. And I used to do
Yes.
technical work also. So,
Great.
sir, overall, it was a very thrilling experience and I love to talk about it also. So, we
Yeah.
talked a lot about that. And then so yes, sir, when it comes to technical aspects, it could be about your job experiences also, what kind of tasks you were put to, how well you did them, how did you do them, and so basic aptitude conversion questions as well
Okay,
that
great.
one may get.
वैसे what does the Newton School do actually? मतलब job क्या है उनका?
Sir, they provide courses. So suppose if some person is an engineering graduate, sir,
Okay.
and sir, nowadays everybody is doing engineering. So, sir, placement आधों की होती है, आधों की नहीं होती है.
Okay.
So the ones who are not very good, very skilled, so even after doing their BTech, sir, they provide courses to those people and a guarantee that they will get them placed in some good companies.
Okay. Somewhat
So
like Scalar,
yes, sir.
right?
Sir,
Yeah.
Scalar and Newton School, they work hand in hand. Yes, sir.
Okay.
They're
Great.
similar.
Got it. Moving forward, थोड़ा इसके बारे में बात करते हैं regarding GTO. Do you remember your lecture rate and GT topics?
Yes, sir. I do remember, sir, in Bhopal, my lecture topic was, sir, I got four options. In that, I picked the social one, which was food inflation.
Okay.
And, sir, the GT topics were, sir, one was what is the single-handedly the reason that girls, even, sir, recently the board result had been out in Jalandhar, sir.
Okay.
So the question was that the topic that was given to us was that recently the result had been out, and the result of girls were far better than the ones that boys had given out. So single-handedly, what was the reason that girls prepared so well and they gave out such good results, yet in a lot of other aspects they are lacking behind in the society? So we were given four options for that. So I don't really remember very clearly what those were, but one was physiological reason, the other was societal reasons on those lines. So the second topic that we were given was related to India and China. So like we have boycotted Chinese goods now. Now, how we were trying to look for a solution as to how we could counter this, because banning Chinese products has stopped all the import and export.
Implications. Yeah.
Yes, sir. So how do we come up with that? So the options were, one could be indigenization of goods. Second would be import and export with other countries. Third would be good relations with other countries, and so on the lines of those things, sir. And my lecture topic in Jalandhar was uh, I took, sir, Indian Railways. So both of the times pretty much, sir, I've taken the social topic only. It
Okay.
gives me more content to speak.
Yeah,
That's why, so
naturally.
that is the reason. Yes, sir.
Okay. Do you remember the other topics which you didn't choose?
Um, so one was based on the BrahMos missile, sir. It was around that.
Okay.
So the one in which we were given an option.
Okay.
Sir, in the group discussion, and sir, in lecturate, my favorite book was there, and it was around missiles again. BrahMos missile only, it was there, which I could speak on. Then India-China relations, one topic was there. And so the first one in Bhopal, so that I'm not able to recall. I remember my topic which I spoke on.
Okay, fair enough. Regarding Psych Test, there is some problem which students face while writing those TAT or PPDT stories. So according to you, how should one go about writing those stories, and what all should they do during their preparation and during their SSB?
Okay, sir. So for psych tests, sir, I'll start with TAT. So, sir, for TAT, the one simple trick I used to use was one has to imagine him or herself in the picture. Let's say there
Okay.
are four people, then I have to be one of those four people. And if I'm not able to imagine myself as those four people, then I am myself and I'm looking at those four people. And that is how I used to come up with my story. There was this very simple exercise that I have done to practice this. So suppose we we are having this conversation and some third person is looking at us. So that person can easily create a story. Okay, Parinati is sitting on a call. She must be having some sort of a meeting. Something is going on. So that is what I used to do when we look around. Suppose I'm traveling somewhere. I'm hanging out with my friends. So I look at a random scenario, and sir, immediately a story pops up in my mind. So that is how I trained my mind to think, so that the moment I am given some scenario, I'm able to think of some kind of a story. So that was there. And for TAT, sir, it is very essential that one is very creative. So all the creativity can be brought out here. So I mean, it's so open-ended, anybody can write anything. And so that's about TAT. Second would be WAT. So sir, WAT again, sir, it is all about training the mind. The more quicker you think, the more the fast acting one's thoughts are. So एक भी word नहीं छूटेगा फिर WAT में, I'm sure. So that is one. I would say the biggest mistake candidates they tend to do is that they start thinking about the WATs that come across the scene. The moment you're thinking, the word is gone. So it is the first thought which has to be recorded as told in the instructions. So there WAT. Sir, I used to practice a lot of WATs. There's one online website also. Sir, I some textbook, something, sir. I'll share the link with you. Sir, that is very
We'll
good.
put
It
the
was
link
very
in
helpful.
description.
Yes, sir. So that was a very helpful website. So it is free. It has a lot of tests which are free. So like proper, it gives out timers wherein you can sit and practice. So I used to practice that a lot. And sir, for SRTs, one simple advice would be that writing only the actions. Give commas. Like for example, I can take one very simple one. You go take a bath. You go to take a bath and you find a black cobra in there. So writing only the actions, sir. Like throw a towel, immediately come out, call for animal rescue, assist them, and take bath. So just the words I, we, I'll do that. Able to do at least 50 SRTs on that.
Great. What was your blank story?
It's a blank story. It revolves around horse riding only, sir. A quotation.
Okay.
Yes,
So
sir.
you had won some prize and uski preparation वगैरह, right?
Yes, sir. Something like, sir, I wrote my actually real story, sir. When I was in ninth, sir, I had to stop riding because of school, and also my parents wanted me to focus on studies. So I did stop. But then after my schooling, sir, I started doing that again when I was in my college. So that is what I made it around that when I was in school, I stopped riding, and then right after completion of school, I started riding again. And then I've always been an aspirant for the forces. So I joined army, and then so I gave a different name to my character, the main character. And then that girl, she joined the army, and then army gave her a platform to pursue her skills as well. And she brought laurels to her unit and something like that.
That's
So
great.
it was around that.
So you had good clubs in Lucknow and Bhopal?
Clubs.
Yeah, I mean equitation clubs.
Yes, sir. In Lucknow, we have Central Command Equitation Training Notes, sir.
Okay, great.
So from there only I have learned and pursued it. And we have the Lucknow race course also, sir. So
Good.
I've done
That's
that
great.
there also, yes, sir.
Tell me about the conference part, like both the SSBs, what all did they ask? Was it short and small, or did they ask something else as well?
So both my conferences, sir, they lasted for a very less time, not more than a minute, I would say. So general routine right after greetings, sir, like how was the stay? What are your chances of getting recommended? And in the second SSB, one question was added that in comparison to your previous attempt, how was your how would you rate yourself in this attempt? So that was there. Sir, I had answered 98%. So sir who was talking to me, sir, he asked me, where are the rest of the 2%? Yes, sir. I guess to which I gave a smile. So that was there. So both of them were very short.
Great. And what was your reaction now the second time? Because first time, so you have gone through a lot. So how was the second time?
So this time, sir, we were calculating a lot. Okay, last time also, sir, on all the top rank holders were all repeaters. So this time also we were calculating, okay, that like last time I was AIR-14, so hopefully I'll make it into the merit this time, sir. So it was, sir, something like that. But on the day of the results, sir, I was super thrilled. So we had been waiting for a very long time for this one.
That's great. Parinati, we wish you all the best for your training at OTA, and we wish कि आपकी training time पे सबके साथ खत्म हो and you get to salute your dad, जो हर फौजी बच्चे का सपना होता है. So on that note, thank you so much for coming as a guest. And जाने से पहले, if any advice you have for the defense aspirant out there जो कि effort डाल रहा है लेकिन कहीं ना कहीं he's missing out, any advice for him or her?
Sir, just one thing that I would ask everybody to keep in their mind is that, sir, it is very important for is one to believe in themselves, sir. Nobody else is going to do it for you. You are going to have to do it for you. So take care of yourself, take care of your body, eat good, be happy. Because as they say itself, the preparation phase is a little, I would say, it has its own ups and downs. But at the end of the day, sir, when one is successful, you have achieved that dream, everybody's going to be very happy for you, everybody's going to be very proud. So just keep on going, don't give up, don't give up at all. Know that something is waiting ahead of that silver lining. So that is all.
Great. On that note, let's end today's video and thank you so much. Guys, if you like this video, please like, share and subscribe. इसकी कहानी maximum लोगों के पास पहुंचाओ. And also do check out Centurion. They're doing some great work. Thank you so much. Jai Hind and take care.
Thank you so much, sir. Jai Hind, sir.